Guys! So in my last video I told you how I was getting my CNA this summer and how I was going to bring you with on my journey and walk you through the process in case you want to get a CNA too. So a CNA stands for a Certified Nursing Assistant. It's also known as STNA, State Tested Nurse Assistant. Sometimes it's just called Nursing Aide. It's all the same thing. I refer to it as a CNA. So yeah. And the job, it's your job is pretty much to assist the nurse. Go figure. You do a lot of the grunt work. It's not a very glamorous job, you know. You're helping patients get to and from the bathroom. You're helping them take showers. You're helping feeding them, helping them with activities of daily living, like brushing their teeth. Um, you're helping them get up and move around. You're helping giving them meals. You're answering call lights. It's not a very glamorous job, but it's a job, and I want to make it clear because a lot of people are confused and they think now I want to become like a CNA as my career. Being a CNA for me, like many other people going into higher um, positions in the medical field, they'll use becoming a CNA as kind of like a stepping stone. So I'm hoping to become either a pediatrician or a pediatric um, nurse practitioner or a pediatric physician assistant. Um, so yeah, those are my career goals. But I'm becoming a CNA so I can start working in the medical setting earlier and get a good idea to make sure that this is kind of the setting I actually want to be in. This is the type of work I actually want to be in. So yeah, and if you do want to become a CNA as like your actual career, that's awesome too. You go for it. You do you, boo, and it'll be great. Um, so yeah, CNAs can work in hospitals. They can work in hospice, nursing homes. They can also be hired to like one-on-one take care of somebody like at their house or whatever. So it's kind of versatile. Um, there's different places that they can work. You can work at rehab centers, long-term care facilities. Um, so there's some variety, and that's awesome and great. So yeah, so you've decided that you want to get your CNA. What do you do? First, you gotta find a place that offers classes for becoming a CNA. Um, Sometimes, like if you're in college and you're at university, sometimes universities will have CNA classes. From my experience, they don't. Like my university does not offer a CNA um, class, so I have to take it over the summer at a community college. Usually you want to look at community colleges. Those are the places that'll have a CNA course, and even if a university does have a CNA course, it's probably going to be cheaper at a community college, so I kind of recommend going to a community college for it. Um, so yeah, you want to find the facility, the school has that offers the CNA course, and you want to apply to that school if you do not already go to that school. So I had to find a community college that I wanted to attend. So I have to apply to it, which if you've never applied to a community college, it's super easy. You can apply online, get accepted like right away. Easy, said, easy. You get it done, and it's done. And it's awesome. You'll have to send them your transcripts from high school or college if you go to college, and if it's been a long time since you've been in high school and you didn't really go to college, then you will have to take a placement test. Um, so yeah, you do that. And then once you do that, and once you get accepted into your college, you want to go to their website and you want to see their specific procedure for becoming a CNA. What mine had us do if we wanted to become CNA, if we wanted to go into the CNA program, is we had to attend a mandatory pre-admission session, and they were scheduled. There was one session scheduled each month. You only have to go to one of them. Um, your school might do something similar to that, but with the mandatory pre-admission whatever session was, it was pretty much covering the rest of the process and becoming um, ready to take the class. And that pretty much was the all the stuff about the background checks. So your school might do a similar thing and have you just go to a session where they tell you about the process and they get the ball rolling, the process started, or they might just like email you or like send some mail to you or contact you differently. But what happened at my session is they handed out a piece of paper. It was pretty much a release form so they could put your name in the healthcare worker registries for the state and begin the process of doing a background check on you. So on that piece of paper, you'll have to be prepared to tell them your name, your race, your social security number, your address. They ask 2 questions about specific crimes you might have been involved in. So you either check yes or no, and you hand it back to the teacher. The teacher will look it over and make sure that everything you wrote down is legible and you didn't miss anything, and if you had any questions on anything, and then they pick it up. And then they go on to explain to you the rest of what you have to do to finish your background check. What they recently started doing is they do fingerprints for your background check. And how to do, yeah, they do fingerprints. They do fingerprint background checks. Sorry, I cannot speak today. And what that involves with is they will give you a live scan form, and it has pretty much all the information you put down. It'll have your height, your weight, your mailing address, your social security number, your I don't know if it has your phone number or not, all that basic information, your date of birth that identifies you as you, and you will pick that up from them or they'll give it to you right then and there, and you take that piece of paper and you're going to bring it to a facility that does fingerprinting. And for my class, that was a place called Accurate Biometrics that we had to go to. You might have to go to a similar place or maybe a police station. You have to go somewhere else. And if you're like me, you think that like going to this place is going to be like super scary, like it's going to be like guarded by people and like everyone's going to be suspicious of you of being like a murderer or something. I don't know why. That's what I think, and I think they're going to be like all mean and scary. If you're like that too, maybe it's just me, but if you're like that too, I want to reassure you that it is not like that. Pretty much you walk in, you give them that live scan form, they will ask you for your ID to confirm that it is you. You have to pay. The cost for us was $33.70 to get your fingerprints done. And then they have you sit down, they take a picture of you. I don't know why they need the picture, but whatever. I guess for identification purposes, whatever. And then they fingerprint you. And how they fingerprint you is you will put, your fingers on this little machine. First they do both of your thumbs, and then they do all 4 of your other fingers together on both hands, and then they do each individual finger on both hands. So I think they do your thumb again, and then they do your pointer finger, your middle finger, which is awkward because it feels like you're flipping them off. Then your ring finger, and then your pinky finger on both hands, and then they give you a receipt, and you're done. It takes literally 5 minutes, and it's not scary at all. It's easy, it's a breeze, and yeah. And then after they do that, you have to take that live scan paper. It becomes your receipt to prove that you did it, and you take that back to your instructor or to the facility that you will be getting your CNA class done at, and fingerprints and the background check will all go through, and it'll go through the Department of Health, I believe, and then the Department of Health will send back a thing to your instructor, to your school, and it'll pretty much say if there were any disqualifying convictions or not. And if there weren't any disqualifying convictions, I believe you just, I think they might email you, or they might send you something via snail mail, and that'll code your name. Well, sorry, they'll email you or they'll send you something in snail mail that's pretty much like, hey, you're not a criminal, you can register. And whenever your registration date for whatever semester you want to go to, your name in the school system will be coded. So it'll pretty much grant you permission to register. Be like, yes, this person went to the mandatory getting started session, they went and got fingerprinted, they are not a criminal, they're good to go, they can register. I do want to quickly cover, if you do have any disqualifying convictions, don't totally freak out yet. Doesn't necessarily mean it's the end of the road for you. What will happen is your instructor will call you and they will talk to you about it and talk to you about what they found. And then you will have to either get an appeal or a waiver. And if you don't know what counts as a disqualifying conviction, you can go to your state's Department of Health website and they will have a list of everything, and they will tell you. They will tell you what convictions you could have had that will qualify you for a waiver, what convictions you could have had that will qualify you for a waiver with rehabilitation, and what convictions you could have had that you need to go through an appeal process for. Now, things that can qualify you for a waiver are like retail theft, using a stolen credit card, stuff like that. And yeah, I don't know exactly how it works because I'm not a criminal. I haven't done anything. Yeah, I don't have anything in my history because I didn't do anything. So I don't know exactly how this process goes, but I guess you just get a waiver, and I don't know, you talk about what you did, and I don't know, and then you give it to your school, and then your school says, okay, you can register. If you have something that you need to go through an appeal process for, those are things kind of like child pornography, being involved in murder, molesting someone, really icky stuff like that. You'd have to go through an appeal process. I don't know exactly how that works, but it's a lot bigger than just getting a waiver. And if you do get a waiver, you then be able to register for the class and take the class. However, you should know that you probably will have a harder time finding a job because some employers will look at it and they'll see that you had a waiver and they'll decide to give you a chance anyways, while others might not want to take the risk. And if you are in that position and whoever the employer was decides they don't want to take the risk, don't take it personally. I know it would be really hard not to, but it's just because they're looking out for the patients. It's about the patients, it's not about you, it's about the patients. So, yeah. And then you can register for the class once you get all that cleared, and you're good to go. So, yeah, that's this video. Next video on this topic probably won't come until about April or May. And that one's going to be about my supplies and like everything you need to get for a CNA. So like your uniform, your books, anything else. And then the video after that will probably be me covering my first day, and then like my first day of clinicals, and yeah, and we'll see where it goes from there. So thanks for watching. Hope you guys are doing great. Bye bye bye.